Hello class. So now we're going to learn about the Rogerian argument. All right, so the assignment for this is you're going to revisit your ethical perspectives argument. All right, so you did all that thinking about ethical perspectives, and now you're going to come back and you're going to use that thinking to help you write basically a letter, all right, as a Rogerian argument from one of the people in the dilemma to the other person in the dilemma. All right, you have lots of choices, right, depending on what your dilemma looked like. All right, but either way, you know, there's in all of your stories, you should have had at least two people. All right, and so they you're writing from one to the other. Okay, and you're trying to find a compromise position that will benefit both parties. So whether or not your ethical argument did encourage you to come up with a compromise position, right? Maybe, you know, depending on your dilemma, maybe there wasn't really a compromise position available. But in this letter, you are trying to create one. You're trying to find a compromise position that will benefit both parties. Okay? So this one needs to be written in the first person, right? Because you're writing as a person from the dilemma to the other person. So there's a little bit of a creative writing aspect to this. All right, this is only 2 to 3 pages because the Rogerian argument is a fairly short argument. There's not a lot of extra fluff in it, right? Not a lot of research, although you can include research if you want to. You don't have to, but you can, right? But there isn't a lot of fluff to a Rogerian argument. Free of sentence level errors, meets these education goals, meets these course outcomes. So again, this is something you can include in your portfolio. Okay, so here is your rubric. So the explanation of the problem. All right, so this is part of a Rogerian argument. The introduction is the explanation of the problem. So the issue is explained accurately for both sides. Okay. Now Rogerian thesis the thesis is there, but it's at the end. It is a delayed thesis, all right, that makes an argument for a compromise position. All right, organization, right, uses organization, the right Rogerian organization. So there's a lecture on this to show you exactly how to do that. And the format in the specific Rogerian argument allows you to look at both sides sort of next to each other. Right? It is requiring you to have audience awareness. Right? Now, in a Rogerian argument, you have to assume that the other person is of goodwill. Right? That the other person cares about you, that the other person wants what's good for you as much as you want what's good for the other person. Right? And so your writing should make that clear. The argument should show awareness for that audience and for the audience's perspective. Because the other audience's perspective, that person has a point of view for a reason. It's a valid point of view. Okay? All right, and then GUMP. And you'll notice this is pretty tight. It's your last paper. 1 to 3 sentence level errors. All right, you still keep your points. 6 or more in 2 to 3 pages. You should be able to do this. All right, carefully edited is required. Now, I did give you an example. All right, and so I'm using Katie Hamby's example. All right, and so I decided to write it from the point of view of the son who's been asked to kill his mother, and he doesn't want to do it. All right, and I'm not going to lie, I actually had a lot of fun writing this. And I think if I were going to redo this, I would write this from the mother's point of view. Because writing it from the son's point of view, he is a sniveling little coward, and I just really want to beat him into next week. Right? And I couldn't write this in a way that didn't make him sound like whiny. Okay? So you may find that to be true when you write yours. And if you're like, God, I really hate this, try writing it from the other person's perspective. I really think that if I had chosen to write the Rogerian argument from the mother's point of view, this would have come out so much stronger. And so don't take this as an example of exactly what to do, except for in terms of the organization. This does fit the Rogerian argument. He's just sniveling. All right, and so I will let you read through this your own self. All right. I'm not sure what else to add, what else you don't know to ask me yet. I have never actually managed to assign this paper, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys do with it. And so, because the last time I was going to do that, there was a big flood, and so my class didn't get to write this. So I am curious to see what you guys come up with. Let me know what questions you have, and I am happy to answer them. Thanks.